Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, PDP to remain a political party. Alleged murder suspects front court. An NFA concludes investigation into Suva fire.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
The now almost defunct People's Democratic Party, which has been deserted by some of its members, will continue to fight for the rights of workers in the country. This as its former party leader Linda Tambuya, along with others, have joined the SODELPA banner but maintain the reason for what PDP was founded will remain. As the marriage between PDP members and SODELPA will mean the former will not be able to contest the elections, Tambuya says her former party will continue to fight. But the question is, how? Akosita Tale with this report.
Formed in 2013 in the interest of workers and unions, the PDP will not deregister itself as a political party despite the partnership with SODELPA. In a confusing move, the party's former leader had this to say today when asked about the future of PDP.
No, PDP remains registered, PDP remains in existence. It just will not contest elections, it will sit out the elections. It will be run by the General Secretary of the party, Pearl Antonio.
Tambuya says PDP's fight for $4 an hour minimum wage, removal of short-term contracts of civil servants, restoring collective bargaining rights of workers and review of labor laws to be fair to workers is now SODELPA's fight. Tambuya believes SODELPA has a good variety of candidates that will contest the election and believes PDP followers will continue to support them as long as they stay true to their fight.
It's quite an exciting lineup. There's a lot of very experienced and successful politicians and entrepreneurs. And then there's the rest of us that are in the 30s and 40s. I think it's quite a good mix and blend of ages and experiences that come together. And I look forward to the remaining 21 that will be announced.
SODELPA leader Sitiveni Rambuka says their manifesto will now include the top 4 priority policies that PDP is fighting for.
They looked at the full SODELPA manifesto. They just wanted to highlight those as they keep their members confident that the PDP will not lose the basic values of the party.
Only on Friday, Tambuya had told the media that PDP would not form a coalition with SODELPA, and a day later it was handshakes to seal the deal.
This isn't something that's new. We had been made it very public that we were talking with other parties about a coalition for about a year now. And so, we just happened to be that we have made this very firm decision to go with SODELPA.
What remains a mystery is how 2 parties with different agenda will strike a balance. But in political football, it's now a wait and watch. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
Alleged murder appeared in the Suva Magistrates Court today. 35-year-old Noah Ravanasau and 25-year-old Meladi Tikomaira Ratonga allegedly assaulted Rusiate Vakalakovi last month, which resulted in his death. Both are charged with a count of murder each. Anna Ravulo with this report.
It is alleged that on the 30th of last month, Noah Ravanasau and Meladi Tikomaira Ratonga assaulted Rusiate Vakalakovi after a heated argument broke out at his service station in Suva. The deceased was allegedly hit on the head and stomach before he was taken to hospital, where he later died. Magistrate Liange Wikramasekara described the alleged incident as an indictable offence. He has transferred the case to the Suva High Court. The 2 have been remanded in custody and will reappear this Friday. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
Fiji is in the final stages of implementing our first national employment policy, a vision and a practical plan that gives direction to addressing employment challenges in the country. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports the draft NEP is out for public consumption and scrutiny, and it was prepared with the support of the ILO and the Asian Development Bank.
Government is conducting nationwide consultations as it finalizes our first national employment policy. The consultations were held with employers, employees, key stakeholders and the general public in Sabu-Sabu and Lambasa today.
Today is the first day that we are taking around this national employment policy for people to talk about it. As you can see, it's still a draft. That means we are still deciding to finalize what should be in that policy. And into starting the consultations, or starting to talk about members of the public about what they think should be in this policy, we've decided to come, first of all, to Bono level.
There are 10 key policy priority areas that the national employment policy will seek to address. The first priority is addressing youth unemployment in the country.
When we look at youth unemployment in this country, meaning the population in between 15 to 24 years, the unemployment rate is around 18.1%. Right? So that's quite a major issue for us.
Other key policy priority areas include promoting private investment to create jobs, identifying and promoting green jobs, access to overseas employment, creating opportunities for those reliant on subsistence activities for their livelihood, promoting gender equality in employment, easy access for disabled persons to get an income, eliminating child labor, and establishing good working relations.
Once it's a government policy, all the government ministries, they must align themselves with this policy. They must relook at what they are doing and try to make sure that they meet this policy.
The purpose of the national employment policy is to identify and implement ways to improve and grow unemployment in Fiji, in line with Fiji's National Development Plan, as well as SDG 8, which is inclusive and sustainable economic growth, employment and decent work for all. Eleanor Turangeview, FBC News.
Waterways Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says an outline of activities for his new ministry will be given over the coming weeks. Dr. Reddy was accorded a traditional welcome by his ministry staff today. The former Education Minister highlighted they will need to bolster their existing capacity and look at research into Fiji's waterways. The Waterways Ministry was announced in the new budget with an allocation of over $24 million.
In an area that is very important for Fijian communities in the rural areas whose lifestyles are linked very closely with waterways. Urban communities are also affected by issues relating to waterways.
The National Fire Authority has concluded its investigation into a fire that damaged 2 businesses in Suva. The early Saturday blaze gutted through the J. Santaram supermarket bulk store and the National Uniform Garment Factory. NFA's Chief Fire Officer, Ngionilao Modetai, says they're currently discussing their findings and are expected to release the information tomorrow. FBC News understands the garment factory owner Lotus Garments is working on finding an alternative premises to be able to continue its production of uniforms with the new school year over a month away. Still to come, communities urged to support people with albinism. A new trial date set for Fiji Times Sedition case. Stay with us.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Uti kami nasom buti ko lang ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyazo silil talit. Nagurara may nawamanyi nandunga gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasibale nagudurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 nandumoy biti
na Radio Fiji 1 nandumoy biti na bonga ni BNN.
Rural communities and villages have been urged to show support and affection towards people with albinism. A recent finding in Fiji shows that customary belief prohibits persons with albinism from wearing hats, sunglasses and protective clothing, which affects them. Savaira Tambor reports.
UN expert on albinism Ikpono Sairo was in Fiji recently, and while speaking with Fijians with albinism, they highlighted that customary beliefs is a major challenge for them.
In most cases, an emotional breakdown concerning what they've been going through.
However, the Permanent Secretary for Itoki Affairs, Nepote Katoni Tambua, says this shouldn't be the case.
We're really there for them, and we'll be there to support them in whatever they would like to pursue in life. Them being a member of the Itoki community, that's a gain for the Itoki. And we look forward to provide all the necessary requirements for them to and so enjoy life.
Albinism expert Iro says that she has given her submission to the government and is looking forward to an effective outcome.
I also look forward to operationalizing some of the recommendations that I have made concerning issues in health and also issues in public awareness and awareness raising, and to shift people with albinism out of the shadows of obscurity and private suffering into the enjoyment of their human rights.
Part of her recommendation is for the government to implement training programs for healthcare professionals through international partnerships, which will identify early treatment. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
A 33-year-old man has been sentenced to 3 years and 4 months imprisonment after being convicted of sexually assaulting his de facto partner's 4-year-old adopted daughter. While sentencing the man, High Court Judge Justice Riaz Hamza said the complainant considered him as her own father and he should have protected her. Instead, he breached the trust expected of him. Hamza said the man has exposed the innocent mind of a child to sexual activity at a tender age and took advantage of the girl's vulnerability and helplessness. The girl was only 3 years and 10 months old when the incident occurred in March in Navua this year. The man has a non-parole period of 2 years and 4 months. The rise in sexual violence and abuse against children, especially by close family members, is becoming an issue of great concern. Save the Children Fiji's child-led initiative, KidsLink Fiji, has come out strongly and is urging Fijians to take steps now before the future dies. Kelly Vadala reports.
KidsLink Fiji has decided to be the voice for the children, and ending violence against children is a priority.
It comes down to how parents, guardians and community leaders invest in time and their dedication to its children's development.
Parents, guardians, they need to be more vigilant. They need to listen to children.
The neglect from parents or the consumption of alcohol, and I feel that children nowadays, they don't have the right to get violence by their parents.
Save the Children Fiji Chief Executive Iris Long McKenzie says most perpetrators are known to the child or is someone that has been close to the child for some time.
You know, if you say children are the future, then what are you doing to the future? If you're abusing us, what will that future look like with children who have been abused? A lot of times when you talk about violence against children, you hear from civil society organizations like us or from government, but we think it's also very important to hear what the children have to say.
Save the Children Fiji says every individual should play a role in ending violence and abuse and need to protect children when they are most vulnerable. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
A new trial date has been set for the Fiji Times sedition case. The trial was expected to start today. However, upon the request of the Defence Counsel for the accused persons, the editor Wesley, the publisher Arts and the Fiji Times Limited, the trial date was vacated. The accused persons requested time to engage new counsel after their previous counsel Faisal Hanif withdrew from the case last week. A new date has been fixed for June. The matter has been adjourned for mention on February 9th. Bail has been extended to all accused persons. It is alleged that Chosai Wangambada, Anare Ravula, Fred Wesley, Hank Arts and the Fiji Times Limited made or caused to be published a seditious statement in the Nailalakai newspaper. 7 families whose homes were destroyed by fire in Namboa 2 months ago were given assistance by the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation today. FBC's 6 radio stations conducted a 3-day cash drive last month aimed at helping these families get back on track. Radio programs manager Shami Lochin says they collected close to $3,000.
We appeal to public, so the money which we have here is given to us by public. It actually belongs to them. It's not ours, and they have done a great contribution towards helping people who were victims of a number of fires.
I thank FBC for this assistance. The money that they have given us, we'll use it for our Christmas. I will be able to buy food and clothes for my family.
I'd like to thank FPC for the big help they have given us today. I know that it will help us and my family, most importantly during the Christmas and the New Year holiday.
Ahead in sports with Jamie, a wrap-up of the Cape Town Sevens, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. Loan culture in Fiji takes a new turn. And in growing Fiji, new supermarket provides employment to 100 locals. Stay with us.
Moala ranavika o tikongona taunu singatoka ando talisaka na vakaronga na Mbula FM number 2 na serre.
Ya dora chubuli kurnambili. Borani batukara hambara binaranga. Do talitakina na vakaronga na Mbula FM number 2 na serre. Bula.
Bula FM number 2 na serre.
Business tonight, the culture of borrowing money has drastically evolved over the last decade. Fiji's locally owned bank, HFC Bank's acting chief executive Raj Sharma says the number of loans processed by them in the last 10 years has more than doubled. Here's more. More Fijians are borrowing money from the banks, and a number of factors have been attributed to this.
It is increased in the private sector, and that has to do with the ability of people to pay loans. And the ability of people to pay loan comes with their disposable income, means their salaries, their affordability to raise loans.
Sharma says the bank has noticed a trend when approving loans for Fijians.
You will see the change of lifestyle. There are number of vehicles the people have. Start with personal loans, then it is the vehicle loans, then eventually the home loan. So that's how the trend is.
Meanwhile, the public had mixed reactions on the culture of borrowing money.
A lot of young people, working class, being caught in this trap of getting loans from banks and institutions that give these monies out. A lot of these people are aspiring into debts.
Well, I think it's really helping people because, like in the other way around, how will they get money if they don't have loans?
Yes, borrow is something is good for a person to make a business.
The loan culture is very common around the globe with student loans, home loans, vehicle loans, personal loans. And it's only fitting to see Fiji adapt to this. However, the question lies on whether Fijians can prevent themselves from falling into a debt spiral. And we now join Sharon from HSC Bank with the latest from the trading world.
Thanks, Rachel. Let's look at the South Pacific Stock Exchange market review for last week. A total of 11,863 shares exchanged hands in 7 transactions last week. Total consideration amounted to $33,491. Looking at the price gainers for the week, Amalgamated Telecom Holding shares increased by 2 cents and concluded at a new all-time high price of $1.87. A slight drop was noted in the Vision Investment shares, which fell by 2.88% and now trades at $2.70. Following the share price movements, the overall market capitalization rose by 0.01% and concluded the week at a value of $1.77 billion. And that's the wrap from our local stock market. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. Looking at today's current exchange rates set each morning for the Fijian dollar. The Fijian dollar has started on a mixed note today. It rose against the Australian and New Zealand dollars as well as the yen, but dropped against the other currencies. As for the commodities market, oil prices rose to close at $57.15 a barrel. Gold was down to close at $1,247 per ounce, and silver dipped to close at $15.80 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, more than 100 new jobs were created after the new supermarket complex opened in Seweni Lautoka over the weekend. The $4.5 million Mickey supermarket complex is located along the Queen's Highway, which also has a restaurant, a bread shop and a barber shop. This is also good news for those living in the area, as they will no longer have to travel far for shopping.
This one, from our heart for this area to develop. And we get these people around this area to get this kind of service without a hustle and bustle for all the traffics and no parking areas. So we get more than enough parking over here, and you can see the environment, so nice, so spacious, and people can enjoy the shopping. That's all. That's the main motive.
And that's business this evening. Now to sports. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening. In sports tonight, New Zealand wins Cape Town Sevens, and Fiji beach volleyball gunning for gold at mini games. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारियल रेफ्रिकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन तक ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
New Zealand has ended its 21-month drought without a men's sevens title to capture gold in Cape Town this morning. They had too much class for Argentina, winning the final 38-14, scoring 6 tries to 2. A powerful effort from Joe Ravavo and try to Vilimoni Koroi gave their side a 14-7 halftime buffer before they stormed away in the second half. Here are the highlights from the match.
New Zealand, Koroi opens up for the youngster. Koroi goes over, second try. And on the outside, Velez will find the space. Bazan Velez scores onto the poles. The shimmy gets the pass out wide, and it's Tim Mickelson. His 3rd try this weekend in Cape Town. The right side by New Zealand, Koroi looking for the switch. Ravovu will go. It's picked a superb angle. Well. Better shimmy and a great pass out wide. Isaacson. Close quarters, brilliant step. The inside ball could be the money ball. Yes, it is. Luciano Gonzalez scores not up to standard. The pickup. There's a good one. Looking for another try for New Zealand. And there it is, Molia.
Oh, just over the moon, really. So proud of how the boys played, not only this weekend but last weekend as well. I mean, it could have gone either way after we lost the first game against USA, and for the boys to bounce back and played like we did the rest of the weekend, yeah, massively proud.
What was the conversation coming into day 2? Because after that game against the USA, it seemed that the...
To play in front of people here in Cape Town, thank for my teams and for all the support back at home. Fiji and New Zealand, so thank you very much.
The Fiji Airways men's sevens side lost 26-31 to South Africa in the Cape Town Sevens Cup quarterfinals last night. Fiji led 21-12 at the break, but luck seemed to be on South Africa's side in the second spell. Meli Tabanga has more.
Fiji received the penalty try in the 5th minute after a high tackle from speedster Sebelo Senatla, which led to a yellow card.
Into contact. Clean out is good, and the ball lost forward. Forced into some desperate defensive measures, and there's a hand around the head there. Does that lead to... It's the hero of day.
Fiji scored a breakaway try from Eminoni Silasila and also Joshua Kurnambili to put them into the lead 21-14.
From Fiji, the turnover is good for them, and this will surely be their second. Putting the hammer down, and Sila is in to score Fiji's second after the early penalty try. Round his man, and Vernicock is away! Try for an advantage for the knock-on, also called over. Senatla unable to make the tackle, and it'll be Fiji in for another try. Senatla furious with himself.
Justin Gedald finished off another well-constructed move to keep the Blitz box in the contest at 21-12 down at the break.
With the first touch, looks to his inside. Gedalt! Justin Gedalt looking to go close to the posts.
Kalion Soko scored Fiji's last try, but missed tackles and errors from our players gave Kwagasmi the opportunity to score under the sticks.
And some beautiful control at the base of that ruck as well from Fiji, and Geduld setting off after Nasoko, but they're not going to get in Nasoko. Crocker Smith, lovely stepping from Smith, and Crocker Smith will go in under the posts. Non-existent turnover.
Sinatla scored the winning try after Geduld ripped the ball from a Fijian carrier.
Geduld, well, the ball's ripped to the tackle, and Sinatla is away. Does it bounce? Can't defend him. Sinatla!
Meanwhile, Eminoni Nasila topped the performance track in Cape Town, where he made 23 tackles, 6 breaks, 7 offloads, and 24 carries. Melitavanga, FBC Sports.
The Fiji 7 side went on to beat USA 26-12 in the 5th place final this morning. Captain Jerry Tuwai scored 2 tries, while Joshua Wakurunambili and Ronnie Sau scored a try each.
They take the route up the middle, and there's no stopping this man. So it is Fiji. We get the first points through there. It's Dana Senakula. And Wakurunambili. Wakurunambili runs a mile, gets around his outside, and he dots fresh legs. And now Thomason, as he got the pace to go all the way. Stephen Thomason. Tuwai looks to work a little more magic, gets it out to Aroni Sau. Oh, he gets rid of Madison Hughes, and Aroni Sau to the USA, firing it out to Maka Anupe. And
looking at the standings after 2 tournaments, former champions New Zealand occupies the top spot with 41 points. The side is 2 clear of South Africa, while Fiji finishes 2017 in 3rd with 28 points. England, Argentina, Australia and Canada are not too far behind. Meanwhile, the pools for the Sydney Sevens have been drawn. Fiji is in the toughest pool and will battle New Zealand, Samoa and Russia in Pool A. The Sydney Sevens will be played from January 26th to 28th. Fiji Beach Volleyball is aiming for gold at the Pacific Mini Games in Vanuatu, having already qualified for next year's Commonwealth Games at a tournament last week also held in Vanuatu. The team is now gunning for the Mini Games gold medal as well. Fiji Beach Volleyball Director Josese Tulele says it won't be easy, but they're confident of giving other teams a good challenge.
So some countries that didn't participate in the Commonwealth qualifiers because they were not under the Commonwealth banner, like New Caledonia, the French, most of the French teams, they're actually in this competition, and we are looking at a new dimension in a new competition because now we have a lot of teams.
Track and field events at the Pacific Mini Games in Vanuatu started earlier today at Coleman Track. The Fiji men's team have qualified for the semi-final round of the 100 meters tomorrow. Fijian sprinters Tony Lemeki finished 2nd in Heat 2. Colinio Rundrundru qualified as 3rd from Heat 3, while Aaron Powell finished with the fastest time in Heat 4. Meanwhile, Fiji's long-distance runner Abhikesh Lal finished 4th in the men's 10,000 meters final. In today's play of the day, it's without any doubt that Fijian Joe Ravabo was the star of the All Black Sevens as the side won the Cape Town tournament this morning. The Auckland man's first try makes our play of the day as he showed tremendous power and skill to start the scoring for the Kiwis. Take a look.
Roy, show, shimmy, Ravuvu, powerful strong. Little offload, the basketball pass over the top has been the secret for him. Keeps going, power and a bit of skill. Still going, Ravuvu. Oh, boy, oh boy. Tell me about that. Difficult customer to bring down, not completing the tackles, Argentina. Cole, and they got punished heavily.
Oh, 100%, just using their arms, but Ravovo just said, no, he is an absolute freak, the young man.
That's it from sports tonight. Join Angie later on with weather and the new media right after the break. Take a look at the Huawei Mate 10 smartphone that's providing an alternative for Samsung and Apple users. That's coming up.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo sekolah untuk talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Ayaw ko ato sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gila gitu Venezuela, nagudurong varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na honga ni BNN.
In new media tonight, ever thought about buying a phone from Huawei? You might want to consider, and here's the reason why. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Hope your weekend was awesome. Well, of course it was, with such beautiful sunshine. And for today, absolutely no complaints. The sun was out with cool breeze. Taking a look in the west, the weather is great this side. The grass is so much greener. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, a full-on sunny day with clear blue skies. And up north, the sun is always a stunner, such a great day for hiking. At sea, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots with moderate seas. And for the tides, high tide tomorrow morning will be at 2:57 with low tide at 8:50. Sunrise will be at 6:24. For tomorrow, there is light rain indicated for parts of the Eastern Division. Other than that, the day is all clear. Tomorrow's 10th, Lambasa will be the hottest with highs of 31 degrees. And looking further on to Wednesday, light showers will surround us. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fiji and Pulse tonight, we asked, what do you think of Fiji's performance at the Cape Town Sevens?
All the Fijians around were really excited to watch the game. It was a bit disappointing, but yes, overall they did a very good job and we're really proud of them.
Yes, I am.
Fiji didn't play this game properly. Hopefully next time they will play better.
It was so good. The performance was so good. I like their game, and the way they play is so good, 100%.
I think the Fiji team played well, and I'm thankful for their performance. I just think they need to play better in the next game.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, detecting cancer early can make all the difference in beating the disease. That is why a new test created by Polish doctors could be so important to women suffering from ovarian cancer. Recapping the main stories, PDP to remain a political party, alleged murder suspects front court, and NFA concludes investigation into Suva fire. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, the results from last week, we had asked, do you think enough is being done to help rape victims? 88% said no. This week we are asking, should NCD education be implemented in the school curriculum? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day. The picture was taken in Nakasi by Sarah Ali, the beautiful sun hiding behind the clouds just before dusk. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टोको ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
Mirchi FM, it's hot.